This month, we will be celebrating female leaders, women who have made our lives better, who have made us more aware of the things that we should be paying attention to as a nation and as a world. I'll start with Eleanor Roosevelt. She was termed the world's first lady by President Harry Truman. And when I think of Eleanor Roosevelt, I think immediately of the phrase, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Eleanor Roosevelt, despite losing her parents at a very young age, having a very difficult mother in law, and putting up with a long term extramarital affair of her husband, was a woman who chose to make her life count for the world. She bounced back. She served the world. She championed excellent causes. And in the end, she was a wonderful example for women that we know. Take a look at Eleanor Roosevelt. Look at her biography and understand what a woman of resilience, of courage, of resolve, of creativity, and of boldness she was. You will find her a worthy woman of excellence. We are going to celebrate Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou grew up in circumstances and was sexually abused. When she did tell, the person who sexually abused her was murdered. She felt that it was her fault that person was murdered, and as a young girl, she stopped talking for years. She simply did not speak. She became mute. She read. She spent all of her spare time in the library, and she read everything that she could get her hands on. When she finally did speak some years later, she had gained so much wisdom that she absolutely became a powerhouse. She also, as an older woman, became a mentor to both women and men. She was a civil rights activist. She was a dancer. She did so many great things with her life. And toward the end of her days, she spent a lot of time on the lecture circuit. Whenever she was on the lecture circuit, there was a particular song that she would sing the chorus to, and that chorus said, when it looked like the sun wasn't going to shine anymore, God put a rainbow in the clouds. He did that for her as a young girl, and He can do it for us. I pray for you this day that when it looks like the sun isn't going to shine anymore in your life, you will see that rainbow that God puts in the clouds. Golda Meir. Yes, she was a woman who changed the world. Golda Meir had a very interesting history. She was actually born in the Ukraine when Ukraine was part of the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics. That is before Russia disbanded. Her family escaped the pogroms, which were the riots against Jewish people, came here to the United States with nothing, and they raised her in the Midwest. Now, she was almost forced to be married. Her parents wanted her to get married when she was 14, which back in that day was very common. She did not, however, want to get married. She wanted an education, and she ran away to live with an older sister in Colorado. She went to high school, she went to college, she met a man, she fell in love. She moved back home to take care of a sick mother, and ultimately she ended up in Israel. And she was one of the 25 signers of the document that made Israel a nation state. I will leave you with one quote from her because I think as women, we really do need to regard this. The quote says, "Trust yourself. Create the kind of self that you will be happy to live with all your life. Make the most of yourself by fanning the tiny inner sparks of possibility into flames of achievement." Those are words that every woman can take to heart. She dealt with being a traveling working mom. She dealt with caring for a sick husband. Golda Meir has a lot to teach us about life. When I say the name Mother Teresa, what is it that you think about? We're going to learn some things about Mother Teresa in the next 60 seconds that may shock you. We think of a lovely woman, a young woman, a quiet woman, a woman of service, a woman who cared for the poor. But she was a very strong woman. And the one thing that I learned from her is to stand for what you believe in. Mother Teresa was from Albania, decided at a young age that she wanted to become a nun, and she wanted to serve in India. She did just that, as we all know. But what we may not realize is that she opened up homes of service to the poor and the downtrodden all over the world, including here in the United States. When you read about Mother Teresa, you read about her determination, you read about her persistence. People did not want to let her go alone into the streets in India, but she insisted. She kept on pushing until she got what she wanted. Quietly, persistently, obediently, never letting up. The one thing I learned from Mother Teresa, and I think that every woman can learn from her. When you know that you're called to do something, you push until you get to do what you're called to do. Have a wonderful week. Please do remember to like and share this video.